So string, we say that string is a data type, and it's the data type which is expressed as a real class. It's part of the library. So strings can be initialized just as um, integers and doubles, but there's this interesting possibility to initialize it with null, which means I am planning to use message 3 as a string, but at this point, I'm not planning to create an object which represents the string, because perhaps I'm going to ask the user to provide me that string, and I will then attach my message 3 to that string and will use it. Okay, so, and the possibility is to use other expressions to make it happen. So again, this will be the topic of a future discussion, not today. String are objects, not primitive data types. They're real classes. And what's available with strings is that the quick demonstration is that when I have those two strings, an empty string and string hello, I can say say world, right? So what I could do with stir and stir2 is that I could potentially construct another string and say greeting, right? And then initialize it by using concatenation of strings. For example, I can say stir2 plus space plus stir. Okay, and then attempt maybe even display what the result is. Just simply print the greeting. Okay, so what is happening here that I have stir2, and I would like to print my greeting, but my greeting is constructed from or as a result of concatenation of three strings: stir2, stir, and a string which is using the double quotes here with a space in it. Question?
Yeah, the space in it, is that just so when it prints it out, it doesn't put hello world and make them one word?
No, I'm expecting to see the space. Good question. Let's run this. Right? So yes, here's the space. Without the space, if I just didn't use the space, we would just see the one word, I believe, right? So right here, if I run this, it just displays one word without the space. Quick demonstration on this would be, and again, I don't think I reset this. I'd like to keep track of it. So if I go to here to paint program, I'd like to demonstrate this little part right here. Move this to this side and rearrange this a little bit. Okay. So here's stir2 someplace here. Stir2, something like that. And you know, it's an object in memory. You know how I like to draw objects like 3D in 3D form? Like it's real thing in memory, allocated. Stir2, I apologize for my frivolous writing here, gives me access to this object. Stir2, we say it's a reference to an object. All objects in Java are referenced. So when I say string stir2 equals null, stir2 is created, but no object exists, and it's just initialized with like the 0 value in it. But once I say stir equals hello, so right here, there's a bunch of characters now stored, and this is oversimplified structure inside, but somewhere hello series of characters is stored. So stir2 begins to connect my program with this object in memory. Now, uh, stir, which is another string, right? Uh, which happens to be pointing to another object, I will just draw another 3D box, right? And it says world right here, uh, you know, attempting to write, but failing, right? Then, in this particular expression right here, I also have an expression that looks like double quotes with space in between. Well, guess what? A temporary string is constructed for this little thing, this quote, space, close quote. It is constructed, and it contains the space character. And this thing in my program right here connects me to this object, temporary object, which is constructed for the sole purpose of being used in this concatenation. And these three now are used to be processed by the plus signs, which are concatenation methods, which are built into the Java string. And all of it is done. And what happens is that a brand new string is constructed. Brand new string that contains the entire text, which we put together, and it contains hello, it contains hello, then it contains the space, it contains the world text, and all of that. And yes, of course, we're constructing the greeting, right? This greeting reference, which connects us to this object. Well, guess what happens to hello and world? Nothing happens. Those two str and str2 and str, those two references remain in place. We continue to reference those two strings. They continue to be in scope. Now, this one is essentially, we have this expression, quote, space, unquote, which looks like a smiling face in this drawing. But essentially, we lose connection with this thing. We no longer have access to it. We could use it elsewhere. Like, for instance, we can say uh, greeting equals um, I don't know, stir two plus space plus plus str, something like that, two times, like even longer greeting, whatever it is. So we try to recycle this or just type it in again. There is a high probability in this case that Java compiler will try to optimize our code, and do not get rid of this object. Keep it around. And the second time we use this space, it will kind of find it and use it again to reconstruct the greeting. But it's not guaranteed. It depends on the implementation of your virtual machine. It's possible that the original will go away and the brand new one will be reconstructed just for the sole purpose of concatenating those strings. So as you can see, the behavior of objects, their life cycle, their appearance and disappearance, creation and eventually their destruction is a very important consideration. By the way, I have an attendance. Let's do it today because the next week is the attendance verification. If you guys could just write your names, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Any questions about this discussion? Yes, question. The last line?
Yeah, no, the string two plus.
This?
No, the last line you wrote.
The last line I wrote? I reconstructed my greeting from this time 4 pieces. So what happens on this last line is that, let me kind of like try to use an eraser here. The result of this last line is that this object is destroyed, and brand new one is reconstructed from the pieces given. Stir 2 plus space plus stir plus stir. Uh, so brand new object is reconstructed again, right here, as a result of this last line. And it will contain, basically, it will be made from those 4 parts. Once we have stir 2, which is unchanged, which is this. So we have hello written here, then we have a space, then we have world written twice, and this will be brand new string. So the greeting is reconstructed from scratch, from 4 pieces. Now notice that it is not done in place. The original result that greeting contained is lost, is discarded, and will be essentially garbage collected, and the brand new content is reconstructed. The brand new string is placed in memory, and we are given access to it once again. So now again, the greeting gives us access to the resulting string, right? So to sum up this demonstration, let's print those two twice and just run it. So you see uh, the uh, the first time it prints, so again, just trying to make sure that everything is visible. So the first time I have hello space world. The second time I have this done twice because I did this stir plus stir, and that resulted in world done twice. Question? Yes.
When you say stored in memory, is it stored in another memory location? And is that because
Yes. Yes. In the new.
varies?
Is it like the result of this line reconstructing this string once again and assigning brand new value to it means that, actually, let's keep both in view, that this new object constructed is constructed at a new location in memory, and the previous location in memory will be recycled at some point. Yes, you're welcome. Okay, so good questions. Very good. So let's see if we can make a few more.